Public Affairs programming on WQPT is brought to you by the Singh Group at Merrill Lynch, serving the wealth management needs of clients in the region for over 25 years.
Asking the citizens for help diffusing the violence and crime in Davenport, hopping on bikes to build stronger families while enjoying the river, and catching a play from one of the newest theater groups. It's all in the cities. A pair of shootings that have rattled Davenport. Of course, every death is a tragedy, but when 16-year-old Jovi Jones was gunned down in broad daylight on Davenport's Harrison Street last month, the mayor and police chief announced the need for a community summit on youth crime and violence. And now, just days before that summit is to be held, an organizer of the grassroots anti-violence group Boots on the Ground, Jason Blair Roberts, was shot and killed Saturday in West Davenport. Organizers of Boots on the Ground now say they will intensify their efforts. So under this whole backdrop, joining us is Davenport Mayor Frank Klipsch. How are you doing, Mr. Mayor?
Good, Jim. Good to see you.
It is tough to hear about Jason Blair Roberts being shot and killed. The investigation, of course, continuing, but does that not underline some of the problems that you're facing in Davenport?
Well, I know the Roberts family, and like I said, whether it's a 16-year-old or someone that's older, and as you said, the investigation is still going on, but any one of them is a tragedy. And so it really is an issue that we've really decided it's got to be the whole community coming together. And that's what this is all about as we move forward.
The crime, the shooting, it's nothing new. Drive-by shootings, we've been seeing so many of that, and just shots fired calls. Davenport police are responding to that all the time. Is it just the nature of society right now? I mean, is there really anything that there's obviously not one thing that can be done, but is there really anything that you think is going to tackle the problem?
Well, that's what I think you hit the nail right on the head here. This is really a matter of, this isn't about people ask, what are you going to do about these issues? It's really a matter of what are we going to do about these issues. It's not about me as the mayor, it's not about our police chief, it's not about our police department or our city. It's about everybody in that city coming together and understanding this is all our responsibility. So I think that's the first step, is that realization. And there are examples where we can't just say, don't do those behaviors. Sure. It's a matter of we got to provide alternatives. And that's what this really is all about, is hearing everybody, make sure everyone gets a chance to participate and everyone gets to be heard. And then out of that, over about a month-long process, finding out what that is and coming back together to figure out what really are our next steps.
Chief Sikorsky saying that there's a subculture of crime, is how he put it. Suspect one day, a victim the next. Right. A lot of these times, these people all know one another. Yeah,
I think that's most of the time. This is not random. These are not individuals just driving down the street causing problems. This is, as our chief has said, Chief Sikorsky has said, you know, something happens and someone else retaliates. So I think it's more that kind of an issue, and there is a subculture of we think it's a relatively small group, but more importantly, we need to deal obviously with that group of young people, but more importantly, we need to make sure we provide a support system for a larger group of young people, all of our young people in our community. Because again, we can't arrest our way out of this. And this is not, and we're arresting everybody who causes one of these issues or commits one of these crimes or being arrested. The issue is, what's the larger long-term plan to support kids and families in the community?
And that's understandable. I mean, Davenport's trying new court systems, or Scott County, I should say, is trying new court systems, new ways to get at these issues. But there's two things that keep happening. One is you have these crimes, and then you have a lack of witnesses or a lack of people coming forward, which is making policing a little more difficult time and again. And then, let's be honest, there are a lot of people who probably are saying, you know what, that's not in my neighborhood. That's not my Davenport. It's not my problem.
Well, I think all of that is true, and that makes it very challenging for all of us who, again, even if you pretty much know the group of kids that are involved, without witnesses, you can't do anything really about that effectively. But more importantly, we've got to find ways, and this whole idea of the summit is to not only hear people who come into us, but our commitment is to go out into the community. We're going to be asking people who may not be able to come to this particular part of the summit process, that we'll come to your neighborhood, we'll come to your church or your school or your home with a group of people and get more feedback. Because this is going to take, the scenario that you've outlined is going to take all of us, literally the large we of the entire city and beyond, to be participating in this and to make sure how we can all be part of a long-term solution.
Does it go beyond a different way of policing, a more community-based, a more neighborhood-based, you know, basically, even for the police, boots on the ground type of inspired, I guess, enforcement?
Well, community policing is where we are heading as a city and as a police department, and Chief Sikorsky is committed, and all the command staff, but all of the rank and file are as well, going out in the community and making relationships and making sure that we can have kids and adults come to us and not necessarily get in a situation where a few have to feel they need to run away. So that's important, and I think we're definitely looking to do the community policing initiative, but it's not just the police. It's got to be how we integrate with the schools, juvenile court, as well as the legal system and the judicial system, as well as all the mothers and fathers and aunts and uncles and grandmas and grandpas, all coming together to say we all want to be a part of this and find out ways that if these young people are that hopeless and strained, then we've got to get at the root cause of that and deal with it. We've got to take care of the ones that are causing the issues. Understandable. We've got to make sure we keep our city safe. But on the same note, the long-term solution is not just that small group of kids. There's others that are out there that if we don't intervene and really provide some preventative and proactive services, it's going to continue.
Well, and this Youth Violence Summit is not the be-all and end-all. What is a home run then as far as the conference or the meeting is concerned?
Well, I think the first part is to let the community know that this is a time where we've done a lot of talking about this, but we've made sure that we got to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to give their input. So that's the first step. Over the next month, we're looking at reconvening and giving what we found out and what some potential solutions are, some real solutions, at least plans of action. Because again, this is not something the city of Davenport can do alone or our police department can do alone. This is going to take everybody on, all hands on deck. Schools, not-for-profits, the court system, the juvenile court system, and our police department, and our county, and all those involved have to come together to really provide an opportunity where a family, a mother, a father, or even the police department can take a young person and they can find all the services they need at one stop. And we don't have that. We got a lot of great services, but we got to be able to go to a one-stop opportunity where you can go and get those services. And assessment is part of it. Not just bring them in and try to put them in some program, but whether they be counseling, mentoring, mental health services, whatever, behavioral health services, whatever they happen to be, we've got to make sure those are available to everyone and make sure everybody can find those.
I want to touch on some other issues as far as Davenport is concerned. You keep bringing up education in schools. Are you a little worried about the direction of the Davenport School District right now when we're talking about possibilities of closing schools, some neighborhood schools? There's discussion of closing a high school. That's now off the table. Are you a little worried about education in Davenport right now?
Not worrying about education in Davenport, but worrying about the challenges the district faces. This is not just a random decision by our superintendent and the school board. They have real financial challenges that they have to meet, and they're trying to find ways to doing that. A couple of the options will close schools that 4 of my grandchildren go to. So it's obviously something very personal to me as well. And the issue more so is why are people not enough in those neighborhoods to make those more viable? We want to make sure that whatever happens, if they have to close a school, and it looks like they're going to have to close some, what can we put in behind that, whether with the school district and the city, to make sure there's still vibrant support in that particular neighborhood? We wish we were in a situation where we're building schools, but regretfully that's not where we are. We know that the school district is challenged financially, so they're doing what they think the best answers are. And there's no doubt, we would rather, as we've made commitments now to urban revitalization, schools are an important anchor in those. So we are concerned, obviously, because some of the neighborhoods that we're committed to continuing with support and creating vibrancy and a welcoming atmosphere will be, in fact, impeded by the fact that a neighborhood school might change. So we need to hear what the final decisions are. We're participating and make sure we're communicating, but ultimately they have challenges and we have to work with them to obviously create a best solution for the most people.
We are seeing a retail change across this country, and no better is it being illustrated than in Davenport, where, you know, when I got here 20 years ago, Elmore Avenue was nothing, and now you have the line of box stores there. Now you're seeing North Park Mall losing 2 of its major tenants, with Yonkers and Sears leaving. And on the other hand, you're seeing all of those strip malls all along Kimberly Road that are just renovating and renewing themselves. So we're really seeing an evolution in retail going on. Are you worried at all when you see these big box stores such as Sears and Yonkers, traditional stores, going away?
Well, at the same time, we're getting a Costco's and other stores along that are developing. I think the mall concept potentially is changing and evolving rapidly. And in discussion with the mall ownership here in Davenport, I think we're looking at opportunities. What's next? What's a new way to use that space? Is there a way to create actually different types of community centers, neighborhoods, and with maybe mixed use kind of investments in there as well? Because we can't go back on the fact that with organizations like Amazon and whatever, the whole idea of going into a store and buying things is changing. And so we have to react to that and use this a greater resource. That's a great location, again, North Park Mall. How do we utilize that space? And there are some new stores in there, Home Goods as an example. You know, Von Maurers has made an investment there with their new store. And there's a number of other stores like that moving into the current mall. But how do we complement that and do some unique things to make that a long-term use of that good space?
We're running out of time. I want you to give the best pitch for people to go to the summit. But even if you don't go to the summit, continue the conversation.
Well, that's exactly right. I think this is something, if we all need to be behind a solution, this really relates to all of us and not to any individual person. And I think if you can't come on Thursday, call the City Hall. You can call us. We will come to you. We'll come to your neighborhood. We'll come to your church or your community in some way to make sure everybody who may not feel comfortable coming down to the River Center will, in fact, we'll have that discussion. And I think that's important. This is something that impacts all of us, and we want to make sure everyone has an opportunity to participate. And more importantly, not only to participate, but be part of a long-term solution.
Davenport Mayor Frank Klips, thank you so much for joining us. We do appreciate it. Still ahead, riding the river. The traditional Father's Day bike ride is just part of the summer plans for River Action. We'll talk more about that in a moment. But first, Laura Adams joins us with other great ideas you can enjoy if you do go out and about.
This is Out and About for June 11th through 17th. Hi, I'm Laura Adams. Celebrate Father's Day at Ride the River at our 4 area islands: Credit, Arsenal, Sylvan, and Campbell's Island. This Father's Day, all dads receive free admission to Niabi Zoo. The annual Quad Cities Triathlon takes place at Westlake Park on June 16th. Or take in the excitement of professional water ski shows on the beautiful Rock River at Backwater Gamblers, presented each Wednesday and Sunday at 6:30. WQPT presents Pinkalicious and Peterific Storytime at the Rock Island Library on the 13th and 15th. Or enjoy Music on the Lawn at the Dear Wyman House June 13th. Bring your lawn chair for summer concerts in the park on 18th Street in Moline on June 11th with the Steve Little Kicks Orchestra. Or catch the Crooked Cactus Band at the Moline Center's Thursday night summer concerts at Bass Street Landing. The Bucktown Review is performing a concert at Trinity Anglican Church in Rock Island on the 15th. And this is your last chance to see Quad City Music Guild's production of MAME, a bohemian eccentric living in the Depression-era New York City. While QC Theater Workshop gets high with the musical Reefer Madness through the 17th. The romantic musical The Bridges of Madison County continues its run at Circa 21, and the Black Box Theater in downtown Moline opens their production of the musical Baby by Maltby and Shire. For more information, visit WQPT.org.
Thank you, Laura. It's a Father's Day tradition dating back 34 years. Ride the River brings families together and brings them to the riverfront. Joining us is River Action Executive Director Kathy Wine. Always good to see you.
Thank you.
This is one heck of a tradition. I mean,
yeah.
Almost a generation and a half of going through it.
We've always been about building bike trails. That was the idea of the first one, and it's still true. We're still putting money back into bike trails and the amenities that come along with them and all that. So
let's talk about 34 years of bike trails. I mean, that's one of the big shining examples of how the Quad Cities has changed over the last, 3-4 decades.
That's right. If you were here in 84 to 85, 2 miles of bike trail existed on the Bend Butterworth Parkway. Today we have almost 60. Yeah. So we're really building on that, and we want to keep going.
What do you like most about Ride the River? I mean, it just seems to be a great family event, and you get to see little kids and dads interact, and that's so important, that bonding.
It truly is. We get to take people to new places, new sites, new things to do. This year's the Island Adventure. We're doing.
Does that explain why you're wearing?
That explains why. Everyone would get a lei, and kids are going to get backpacks.
We saw that, yeah.
Those are nice. We have and a special ticket for dads on Father's Day for the
To see the River Bandits?
Games,
Excellent.
River Bandits game. But yes, what I like the most about it is getting people out to see sites and take advantage of events that they haven't done before, seeing parts of the riverfront they haven't seen before. And that's the whole idea of going to the islands this year. We're doing special things on Campbell's Island. You may not have realized the War Memorial is all about the 1812 war. And we have a play going on about that. We have an art project there, which is a fire pit, which we're going to make s'mores over the fire pit. You're going to see things you haven't maybe done before.
Yeah, because it is, what is it? It's Sylvan, Campbell's, Credit.
And Arsenal. On
Oh,
the
thank you.
Arsenal
How could I
Island,
forget Arsenal Island, of course.
I know, but it's wonderful to get on there and ride the nice, wonderful shaded trails on the Arsenal. As well, we're riding to servicemen while they're on the island.
Yeah, it really does represent the entire Quad City area. That's what's kind of nice too.
Yeah.
I want to talk about some of the other things that River Action's got going on. One of the things is Adopt a Path initiative. It's not new, but you really kind of want to push that as well, because why not take ownership of some of what you get to use every day?
That's right. If you take a half mile, you're one of our members of the Adopt a Path program. We'll give you gloves, bags. We'll tell you where to take the bags, and if you need to drop them somewhere, we'll pick them up later, that kind of thing.
It's based on that Adopt the Highway program of cleaning up.
It is the same thing. Same thing.
And then what impact do you think that'll have? I mean, is it one of those things that, yeah, now we have ownership of it and people will take greater pride?
That's right, and I think the more people on the trails and the cleaner it is, the more it's kept that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
And safety is that way. If you see more people, you're safer wherever it is.
And it takes a community to make a community. That was deep on my part. Floatzilla's coming up in August.
Yeah.
Are you going to break the record?
We hope to. We hope to. We've got some new partners who are determined to break the record, and we have to get to 3,150.
Okay.
And we know the lake is big enough.
Those cheaters on the East Coast? Is it still the same group
we
have to beat?
It is the same group to beat.
Okay, all right.
But I don't think they cheat.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I know.
I'm a hometown guy. So August is Floatzilla.
We want to. We want to break the record.
What's the best you've done? How many people have had?
We've had 1,600 before.
Okay.
So
we really got to crank it up.
We have to double that.
The other question I wanted to ask is the First Bridge project, which was going real strong in gangbusters, and I really haven't heard much about it lately. And then why don't you describe it first, too, please?
It's a 255-foot span of the original bridge, so it's an exact replica. It actually
First bridge over the Mississippi River.
Across the Mississippi, right. I keep calling it just First Bridge. It's across the Mississippi. It was a railroad bridge in 1856. And we own the original berm that it was on.
You can still see it when you drive by River Drive.
Yeah, you can. So we'll put it there, which is up about 22 feet, across the highway and railroad to River Heritage Park. The project is one that I am trying to get a DOT Rec Trail grant to kickstart all the fundraising. Right. And so that's what we're doing. And we've met with DOT twice. This last time telling us exactly what has to happen on our part before they give the grant. They like it also, the project. So we're hopeful that with our application July 1st, that we're successful.
Okay, when will you hear about that?
Usually 2 or 3 months after, not right away, but 2 or 3 months.
So you want to point out that this is still ongoing. Do not forget the First Bridge project.
Definitely. I would hope we could open that bridge the same time they open up the new Y, which is right across from the berm.
Right in that area.
Yeah.
And talk about linking all of the trails together. That would be a perfect example of that.
We're just now working on the Trail North, which when north, I mean up into the neighborhoods, you know, up to Gordon Van Tyne, the industrial renovations that have been in the apartments, condos, and all in that area. And 6th Street is another one. And when we do that, we are connecting a large neighborhood. We're revitalizing a neighborhood. At the same time, we're providing some economic development and some continuity to the trails we have on the river. So
many things River Action's doing, and the easiest thing to do is Google River Action, get to your website, you can see what the First Bridge project looks like, actually. You can see Abraham Lincoln holding the bridge.
That's right. He was the one that
was
represented the railroad.
The legal actions
and they were
there.
able to finish the bridge.
We know our history there.
Right, you do. Well,
Executive Director Kathy Wine from River Action, thanks so much for joining us. He calls his music ukulele-infused rootsy folk rock, that is, and Kevin Presbury wants to be known as a storyteller, not unlike his influential mentors like Jim Croce, Don McLean, and Van Morrison. He joined us on the stage of the Black Box Theater in Moline, so here's Kevin Presbury with Always With Me.
gotta let it go. Still trying to understand, I'm still trying to get along. It'll get a little easier with time, they say. No matter where I go, whoa, you're always with me. You're always with me. Every now and then I swear I hear your voice. Living in your shadow didn't really have much of a choice. Everything's different now, but it feels the same. No matter where I go, whoa, you're always with me. You're always with me. I can only hope to be the man you were. The path you made for me is long. Well, I'm still trying to find my place in this world, but I must go. I must go on. I must go on. The dust is settled now, the days have passed. It took a little time, but I think we come to grips at last. If I learned one thing since we parted ways, no matter where I go, whoa, you're always with me. You're always with me. You're always with me.
Kevin Presbury with Always With Me. Last year, Augustana College unveiled a new stage with a new theater group called the Mississippi Bend Players. It's a group made up of college students and performers from the community, and they helped launch the Bruner Theater Center at Augustana. Well, a year has gone by, and joining us is the producing artistic director of the Mississippi Bend Players, Mike Schultz. What a title, young man.
You just stick around long enough and they promote you regardless of qualification, I've decided.
You were very active in the group in its inaugural year last year, the Mississippi Bend Players.
I was lucky enough to be in Wait Until Dark and Brighton Beach Memoirs both last season. I had such a good time. I'm so proud of this company. I couldn't believe they offered me the job. I was beyond thrilled. And as an Augustana alumnus myself, doubly thrilled.
Well, let's talk about this because Big River is what's opening up June 22nd, a seven-time Tony Award winning production.
Absolutely, yeah.
You're starting big.
We're starting, yeah, go big or go home,
yeah,
we
there
say.
You go.
Yeah, 7 Tony Awards, 1985, I want to say. It's based on Mark Twain's Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, and it follows Huck down the Mississippi River as he helps his friend Jim, a slave, escape from slavery. He runs into a couple of con artists. He falls in love for the first time. He deals with Tom Sawyer. It's a great Twainian adventure. It's a lot of fun with beautiful music and some of the best singing I've heard in years. I'm lucky enough to be in the show as well, and I'm knocked out at rehearsals every day, knocked out by these voices.
Quad City area has so many theater options. I think I've talked to you about this before.
Yeah, more per capita than we should, maybe.
Well, maybe.
It's a lot.
But I mean, tell me, I mean, it's important kind of to carve your own identity, I would think, and how difficult is that?
Well, you give it a shot, basically. What's amazing is that despite all the theaters you say that we have in the area, and we do, everybody kind of does have their niche, you know, and everybody gets people in attendance and they get their own fans. What's great about the Mississippi Bend Players is it's the only regional summer stock theater, professional theater in the Quad Cities. There's of course the Clinton Showboat, Mount Carroll has the Timberlake Playhouse, and so this is kind of that, we're in the middle of those two and carving out our own niche that way.
A lot of people also may not understand or realize the changes that happen physically at Augustana, where your home is.
That used to be, our theater used to be the cafeteria. When I was a student there, 86 to 90, and for many years afterwards, that was the student center. That's where you went to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And it has been transformed into this unbelievably gorgeous jewel box theater that houses, you know, about 260 people, and there isn't a bad seat in the house.
It's big but intimate. I mean, it really is kind of a nice setup that you have.
Yeah, it's a thrust stage, and so you're kind of surrounded by audience, and as audience you're surrounded by the show. It's thrilling to both do shows there and see shows there. I have a blast. Absolutely.
Well, we started with Big River. You have Glass Menagerie then coming up in July, so it's like you've got you're swinging big.
Those
twice.
are big ones. Absolutely. Yeah, Tennessee Williams, of course, the classic memory play. Beautiful cast we've assembled. Director Corey Johnson is just magical. She directed Brighton Beach last summer for us. It's a terrific piece that gets performed often and for great reason. It's kind of a perfect play, and a really nice companion piece, I think, to Big River in many ways. It's also about dreams in the Midwest, and this is called Our Season of Dreams, and they fit together really nicely, I think.
And then you're ending it with something new, Beginner's Luck, opening August 3rd.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this one.
A world premiere comedy.
How about that?
Never seen before, but on this stage.
Absolutely. This is written by a gentleman named P.J. Lasker, who was a writer for The Golden Girls and an Emmy-nominated producer for The Golden Girls. He's written for Barney Miller, so he knows his funny, for sure. And it's a story about a former child star who surprisingly can't get work as an adult. I've never heard that happen before in my life, but it's all about his trying to stay famous, basically, become or stay famous, and he has a lot of conversations with himself, who his other self played by another actor. So it's two actors, same role.
How does the Quad Cities score this as a world premiere?
This was an idea of our executive artistic director, Phil McKinley, who started the season last year and directed Zombie Prom, and he knew Mr. Lasker from way back, and they had been working on and off in this script for quite a while, and when Phil decided last year that we were going to be producing a musical, an original piece, and a classic. We had our musical with Big River, our classic with Glass Menagerie, and he said, you know what, I've got a perfect idea for the original piece. And so now it is getting a world premiere staging. I'm excited I get to be in that one too, which is crazy. They're not working me quite hard enough, Jim, is the thing. So
Mississippi Bend Players. It's a full slate. It's going to be at Augustana. Check it out. You're always on the web, so you can check it out there. Once again, Big River is opening June 22nd, kicking off a great summer.
I hope so.
Down at the
I'm excited.
Okay, Mike Schultz, the producing artistic director of the Mississippi Bend Players. WQPT is doing its part to support the military men and women in the cities who are serving our nation. We call it Embracing the Military. And the Rock Island Family and MWR office is hosting another newcomers orientation and tour. It's an opportunity, really, to get new servicemen and women and their families better acquainted with the Quad City area. It is free. It includes a breakfast and a lunch. It takes an entire day, and the next tour is Thursday, June 28th, from 8 until 5. You can contact the U.S. Army MWR to make reservations. On the air, on the radio, on the web, and on your mobile device. Thanks for taking some time to join us as we talk about the issues on the cities.
Public Affairs programming on WQPT is brought to you by the Sing Group at Merrill Lynch, serving the wealth management needs of clients in the region for over 25 years.